fun. I just say people should slow down, just let it stay at the bar. You meet somebody, let it stay at the bar till you talk to them, another day. But just going straight home with somebody you don't know for no reason is a big no-no, men and women.
Right. And I agree with you 1000% on that. And if you like I said, if you do meet them up at a place, make sure you, like I said, I wouldn't even go back to their place. They shouldn't even want to come up to your place because you don't. Well, what it is, we quick to put these people in these positions so fast that they have not earned that right to be that close to us. If that makes sense, what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. You know nothing about you. You don't know nothing about them.
and like I said, if you go out with anybody, trust me, if you go out with anybody, if you meet somebody in a nice place, meet somebody in a public place, but at the same time, don't go to the same place. You know what I'm saying? Be wise about this and get to know somebody. Even the Bible says, get to know those who labor among you. Now, if the Bible tell you that, then that's for a reason. Get to know those who labor among you. Get to know a person. We so quickly want to put titles on people so fast, and then they don't be what they're supposed to be. And the other thing, it going out for drinks. Make sure you pour your own drink. Don't let nobody put it. If they do pour a drink, let them do it in front of you. Don't let them go off and do it and bring you back a drink. I don't play that either. I put my own drink. If you do pour the drink, do it in front of me. Don't do it. Now, I mean, they're just being real because people will place stuff in your drink if you're not careful. Because we get so comfortable around certain, we just get so comfortable, period. We get real comfortable. And we get so relaxed around people. That's how we let our guard down so bad. The Bible says, be wide as a serpent, but be free as a dove. Think about a rattlesnake. A rattlesnake is going to what? Warn you, right?
You're right.
It's going to warn you before it strikes you. It let you know, step back. So you enter that rattlesnake's territory, what's going to happen?
You're going to get death.
Because why? Because that rattlesnake is protecting himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to protect ourselves at the same time.
That's true, because you don't really know what people's intentions are. There's some people that like for instance, this last story, like I don't know what was particularly on his mind, but it wasn't nothing other than murder. And that's a dangerous thing to know, is people walking around with that kind of murder on their mind. And then we just, like you say, we real careless when it comes to these feelings about, partying, and we just want to be free. That comes at a cost. Everything has a cost to it.
Yeah, it does. And then, like I said, and look what the guy said. When he plead guilty, he blamed mental illness.
And that's what you do, because a lot of people who do these murders, they don't necessarily think they're gonna get caught or want to deal with the punishment. So it's almost like spitting on the person you just killed, because you clearly did this crime, but you also don't want to say I was fully competent at this. Now, it could be something wrong with him, because the way the story is just he just woke up and did this. It could be, but like I said, that's that. And then who's getting these people help? That's another thing. Ain't no help out here.
Yeah, man. It's gonna go to another one. May December murder in Florida. Michael Harris was arrested on January 23rd, 2021 for the death of Bobby Scott. 63-year-old Scott was reported missing by his husband the next day after meeting with 20-year-old Harris on January 17th. The two met through a popular dating app. However, after a week of not hearing from Bobby and no financial activity on any of his accounts, things were looking bleak. Police eventually found Scott's car in Harris' possession, but Harris told police that Scott had lent him the vehicle and that he had seen him since their date. Harris was arrested for murder, even though Scott's body wasn't found until after the arrest. The medical examiner reported Scott died from blunt force trauma, likely from a 2x4, piece of wood, and a bottle. Harris is believed to be an internet predator, having met other through the dating app that he later robbed or assaulted. He has been charged with second-degree murder and is awaiting trial. Wow, man, this is real, man. This is some crazy stuff out here, man. These folks are losing their lives, man. Innocent bystander, expecting one thing, and in turn to a whole nother thing.
Right. And then this just show, men ain't safe either. Men can be, fall to a predator act too,
Yeah. You gotta be careful out here. It's not just for young. These adults, these are adults. These are supposed to be adults. They are losing their lives. These ain't no teenager children. These are adults. Everybody talk about young little boys and little girls and watch themselves on social media. A lot of these adults need to watch themselves too. Let's go to another one. Triggered in New Jersey. Between August and November 2016, 4 women connected with Khalid Willa Weaver on a date app and arranged to meet. 3 of the women were dead, and a 4th barely escaped. Willa Weaver used date apps and in a social media app triggered to lure his victims. His crime was horrendous, and he likely would have continued if not for the family of his third victim. The 20-year-old was a security guard and was known as being clean cut and well dressed, but he harbored brutal tendencies. Robin West, his first victim, Charade remains were found in an abandoned house. The cause of death undeniable. His second victim, Joanna Brown, disappeared in October. Her body was found in December, a victim of strangling. Sarah Butler was his last victim. She agreed to meet Willa Weaver after sending him a message, "You're not a serial killer, right?" Before Sarah's mother, a 4th woman had met with Willa Weaver, but managed to escape. She told the police about her encounter. In the meantime, Sarah's friend and family were determined to find out who killed Sarah. They found the message Sarah had on tag and set up a fake profile to set up a date with Willa Weaver. When he found Rob at the designated police were waiting to arrest him. Willa Weaver faced charges of murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, and arson. He was guilty of 11 charges in December 2019 and is sentenced to 160 years in prison 2021.
Wow.
There's some real stuff out here, man. It is some real stuff out here. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all be careful.
This remind me of Dracula. Dracula's a real aristocrat, man. Nice, clean, fancy. You wouldn't even know until his fangs came out. So it's like that's another thing you got to watch for too. And like I said, these dating apps, they make it you can become somebody else and really get somebody. A whole stranger from another state, you can convince to come out there to you based on game or whatever you're running, but it's really possible to be gotten out there and they strangers. We just don't know them.
Yeah, man. Just be careful out here. Be careful out here when you when he said this one. Now let's go to another one. Tender secret in Mexico. 26-year-old Francesca Ruth Rivera was reported missing on December 3rd, 2016. It was discovered that Ruth was secretly dating Emmanuel Navarro Venres Bogar. The pair had met on Tinder and had been dating for several months. Bogar refused to meet Ruth's friend. Oh, okay. That's another thing. Hold up. So they were dating this individual, and then he refused to meet Ruth's friends and family and become a person of interest when he reported that she was last seen in his apartment in Leon, Mexico. Okay, that right there should have been a red flag right there. When he refused to meet her family and friends. What you got to say about that, D?
That's always a big red flag, because normally, especially if it's somebody you like, you plan on being around, you're gonna bring up family and let meet my mom. Maybe if you're not ready for the mom, what about my uncle or somebody else? But to just not want to meet none of your family, not be seen with you, no friends, that's a problem, because it's like, well, what do you have to hide, and why we can't see you?
And then we're gonna go. Upon investigating, police found a bag of human bones human bones. Then it's going back. He said, of course, he murdered her. Said because she refused. Oh man, wow! This is why he murdered her for. He said he murdered Rupert. He said it because she refused to have sex with him.
Mm. Mm.
So he took this woman's life because she refused to have sex with him.
That's why men gotta control themselves. Even animals in the animal kingdom. An elephant, when he in that musk, he the most dangerous thing on earth. And I believe it's a scripture that tell you, if a man don't have a wife, he walk around, hot-headed all day, or he don't have a woman, he's gonna walk around like that. And some men could deal with it, some men can't. And I just feel like if you can't deal with it, these apps are making it easy for them to just be able to say, you know what, okay, I can't see you in real life, or I can't do this. Maybe I'm, you're just not a guy with no game, or whatever the case may be. But these apps, like I said, they can be who they want on them, and you're gonna believe them for face value.
And that's another thing too. He was mad because she didn't want to have sex with him. I'm gonna say this: at the end of the day, man, she has a right not to have sex with. She has a right not to have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. Some guys are afraid to tell what they want. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be honest with an individual. And like I said, you can't get mad at all because she don't want to have sex with you. That's just crazy. But he took her life because she didn't want to have sex with him. That's crazy.
And that's why they say, if you don't, when you're talking to somebody, if it don't sound long term, or just sound like a night of fun of some Netflix, you gotta make the right decision in that. I know loneliness can catch people, or certain things they crave can make them, deprived and do things, to the extreme where you would say, you know what, I'm gonna just go to their house on the first night, whereas something of common sense, or not even common sense, just something should tell you this ain't the right move. It's too early.
Yeah, because this stuff is important. And then, like you said, if you get to that point in your life or in that moment, just find something productive to do. Find something. It's plenty of stuff to do. Don't let anybody tell you it's nothing. It's plenty of stuff to do. It's plenty of stuff you want to get done. It's plenty of stuff you want to get accomplished as well. So it's always stuff to do. And that's what people feel like. It's nothing to do. It's always something to do. You just have to, make it happen. But like I said, man, that's enough of that. We'll just talk about that for a little while. Like I said, man, just be careful out here when we doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful. And we do have our guests with us tonight, so we appreciate her hanging out with us. Of course, Sabrina, thank you for taking time out your busy schedule. Talk about what you got going on with your organization. Just go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience here on Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast.
Sure. So can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we loud and clear.
Awesome. So so I'm Sabrina Luna. I own Transformation Culture. It's a business concierge business. So we come alongside people and just whatever their needs are for their business, kind of almost like a virtual assistant, we help out with that. So whatever you have as a vision or a goal, we'll walk alongside you and we'll make it happen with you. So.
And that's what's up in the title, transformation of culture. That's something that's on point. We know this is already December 21st. We know next month is a new year. We know between December, the last day of December going into January 1, everybody gets so excited, gets so pumped, be very emotional. But then when they go through the year 2023, some people may not got anything done, got what they want to accomplish, but you mentioned helping people with their goals. When you say that, how do you help them with their goals? I know a lot of times people have these big goals, but they don't finish, they don't master those goals. So with your expertise, how do you help them master them goals so they feel good about themselves when they actually master their goal?
That's a great question. So my long corporate career, right? I've always had a gift for hearing the big picture, the big vision, and then breaking that down into actionable steps in order to accomplish that goal, whatever the vision is. So I've used that and applied it to usually small businesses is what I like to walk along. Small business focus with a lot of minority businesses. So, and including, I'm actually looking for a Black-owned caterer right now. So if anybody is listening and you're a caterer, Black-owned business, hit me up because I need to order some stuff. But so.
She froze up.
Things.
Oh, yeah.
Or bring things to life.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned something about the catering and stuff like that. Hey, y'all make sure y'all food is good. Y'all watch them.
Right?
So, yeah, y'all doing catering business, make sure y'all food is on point. Because that's another thing what people talk about. You have these functions, what the main thing they talk about? They talk about their food. So make sure and y'all on point with y'all food. That's y'all business, that's y'all brand. And you want people to say good things about your food. So, man, y'all make sure y'all on point with y'all food and make sure y'all clean too. Cause we got some nasty individuals out there as well. I'm just keeping it honest. So y'all make sure y'all point. Integrity. Have integrity when y'all do business. Go ahead, Sabrina, you can finish.
No, that part, the integrity is the most important thing. Cause I think anything starts with your intention and your heart behind it, you know? So as long as you have a good, your heart's in the right place, I think that you can figure out anything else. Even if there's a mishap or a mistake that happens, you'll be able to bounce back a lot better if you have that integrity and that heart behind it. So.
And yeah, and that's what's up. And I know, like I said, getting back to the goals. I know everybody wants to see results. You know, we always want to see results when we got goals. Maybe think about the scripture in Proverbs, and the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. You know, read about people perish because we don't have a vision for our life. We don't have the direction we want to go into. So that's why we perish all the time. That's why we being tossed to and fro and not being really focused on what we need to go. You know, I've been listening to a lot of great content on social media, mentorship, and how they teach on having a direction for your life, having a mission statement for your life, having core value. Like they use like a job industry. Like if you go to a job or you're a place of business, just like you with your organization, you have rules, you have things in place for your mission statement. You have a mission for your organization. So whoever comes to your organization, you expect them to abide by your rules and regulations of your organization. And you get them know up front, hey, this is what my organization expect. This is what I expect from you. Now, if you don't live up to the expectations, we have to we'll take it back. Well, I'll give you a verbal warning, of course. Then we don't see no type of improvement. Okay, we need to go our separate ways. So that's why I want to get back to about our life. You know, focus on these goals, get with people, and then lots. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is, so you talked about having a vision and a direction for your life. So what I've experienced in my life, being the person that I am, I have had so many visions, and God has put so much passion for everything inside me. So it's been hard to channel that into one direction. So it was like I had all these visions, all these goals, and there was just so much happening that I was trying to tackle all at one time that I wasn't giving anything the attention it deserved, and I wasn't able to accomplish anything. So kind of the reverse of what you were talking about, you know? And when you mentioned the Bible, I was thinking, you know, with people coming together, I think it's more about the principles rather than like the rules and regulations. So I'm thinking, okay, this is my heart. This is how I like to do business. If your visions and if the principles that you live your life by, your ethics, if we align, all right, then that's going to be good business. That's going to be a good business relationship. Because if you conduct, and it doesn't have to be right or wrong, we can be different and live our life by a different code of ethics and still be good people, both good people, but just not match. You know what I mean? But that's almost more important to me is how do you handle conflict when it comes up? I want to know that. How do you, if we disagree on a vision, how are we going to be able to get past that? Because I don't really care about the rules, and the money will come and go, all of that kind of stuff. But if the heart isn't there, like I said, you know, that's the part that makes a difference to me.
Right. And that makes sense, because if you have, like you have these means, and what it is, people, not everybody, some people are scared to be honest with people. I don't know, they're just scared to be honest. That's why I tell nobody don't answer anything real fast. They go for me too.
Yeah.
Like, you position me something with an idea, you shouldn't expect me to answer so fast. When I say that for, because I have not thought things through. It takes me back to the scripture when Jesus said, have you sat down and considered the cost?
Right.
And they didn't, they just want to go build, they didn't have enough, and they got laughed, they got mocked about, and everything else.
They rushed it.
Just imagine if people would just sit down and think things through, then get back with me, so we won't waste each other's time.
You hit the nail right on the head, because my life right now, actually, I've been walking through a season where I've had to relearn that lesson to another level. Not just with myself, but with other people too, and making sure that I have as much grace as has been poured out on me, that I have that much grace for other people as I'm waiting for, you know, different transformations, if you will, to happen inside my own heart, inside, you know, my life and my circumstances, but also inside of the people that I care most for, you know?
Right.
So right on the head. That patience is huge, because like when we're talking about achieving goals, it's not a straight line. It's not going to be like, here's step 1, I got it. Here's number 2, I accomplished that. Here I achieved the step 3. It's never like that, you know? It's always like, hey, I went up 3 steps and now I fell down 5. But I always like to tell people, when you fall down those 5 stairs, remember, you're not the same person at the bottom that you were when you started. So you are very different. So now when you're going to tackle those 1, 2, and 3 steps, you're a very different person tackling those 3 steps. You're going to be able to move through. And that's that boomerang effect. And that's really what you want, because you're going to make it to the top of the mountain. But when you find yourself back at the bottom of the mountain, don't be scared, because you're going to get right back up there. And that's when God will propel you. And that's the space that miracles happen.
Right. And like I said, we are always evolving. You know what I'm saying? What we do completely today, we're going to do something different tomorrow. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to grow. Even the Bible talks about that, you know, meditate day and night. Be like the tree planted by living water. You know, a tree grows. And we know once the tree is being properly nurtured, it's going to grow to become what it becomes. That's how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to grow to become what God wants us to be. And that patience is important, because everything is timing, everything is patience. You know, it takes 9 months for a baby to get here. So everything has to do with timing and patience. And like you said, being patient. The Bible speaks about being merciful. We gotta be merciful to people. Just in that grace period of people. Everything has a grace period, of course, and that helps us to get it right within that grace period. And I just want to talk about, when you mentioned transformation, what did that, of all the titles, of all the names, what made you choose transformation?
So one of my biggest things in my life I've noticed is the seasons I've gone through and the transformations that I've seen through those seasons. And that made me the person I am today. And not just that, but my kids are riders. and they've been through a whole bunch, but I even see transformation inside them, that if they hadn't experienced some of those hardships, they might not have been the people that they are. And man, they're really good kids, you know, so I'm very blessed in that way. But so transformation culture actually came from my daughter, my youngest, my 13-year-old. We were laying in bed, and we were actually homeless at the time. We were laying in bed, and I felt a nudge, like, take the last little bit of money you have and start a business. And I was like, no, that can't be right. I'm not hearing God right. And he was like, start it, do it. And so I was like, all right. So I did it. And sure enough, everything started falling in place after I was obedient. So my daughter and I were laying there, and I said, okay, Mija, I started this. What should we call it? And she was like, And I'm like, well, what word stands out? Like, what describes our life? Like, what, you know, how do you think of it? And she's like, transformation. She's like, Mommy, that describes you perfectly. She's like, you're always trying to improve and get better and learn and grow. And she's like, and you taught me that. And I was like, wow, you know? So I felt so, that was like one of my mom moments, right? Like, where I was like, my baby. But yeah, so transformation. And then I came up with the culture, because I'm like, you know, it really is a culture. You know, we see negativity spread all the time.
Yeah.
Negativity spreads quick like wildfire, but so does goodness. So when I see somebody walking in their purpose and their passion, I catch that fire quick. And I'm so excited to walk alongside them and be like, hey, how can we collaborate? Hey, how can I support you? And I hope people will do the same for me, you know? But that's that transformation where I'm like, all right, I see you doing that. And I see the phases that you're going through and you're achieving things. Let's do it, you know?
Yeah, and that's it. Because the Bible says your gift should make room for you. And when your gift make room for you, it's going to bring you before great men. So your gift will connect you with the right people at the right place at the right time.
Right.
Because it's not about, you get all the degrees you want. You can have the big count all you want. It's all about your gift.
Yes. Yes. I absolutely agree, because I don't actually have a degree in anything, but I've been commissioned to do a whole lot of things. And every time I was called to do something, my prayer was like, man, God, I don't know why they chose me, because I'm not qualified. I am the most unqualified person for this. And God was like, no, you're not. You better step up. I qualified you. And so I would just approach everything that way since that moment. And every time I've always learned and grew from it. And I was able to accomplish whatever I was sent there to do.
And that's, oh, see, let me read it. There you go.
Oh, you got mute.
Oh, there you go. My bad. I hit the wrong button. So
I was gonna lip sync for you. So you're
wow. So with that coming up, I know we got the holidays coming up. So what are y'all plans for the holidays in a few days?
Actually, we're very, very excited, because this will be the first year that we're gonna actually be able to celebrate more of a traditional Christmas. So previous years, since COVID, we've really struggled a lot. And so we haven't been able to buy any gifts or do anything like that. And this year, it's going to be still a humble Christmas, which is fine, because we don't need a lot. We've actually grown a lot closer and stronger as a family and just enjoy each other's company. But we're actually going to be able to buy some gifts for each other this year. So we're really excited about that. So that's our plan.
Man, that's what's up right there. And we know the New Year's coming up. So what plans y'all have for the upcoming year?
So New Year's is actually my favorite holiday.
Oh, really?
Speaking of transformation and all that kind of stuff, because everybody gets so excited about something new, you know, and everybody is like, just new beginnings excite people. And I love to see people full of hope and excitement about what's coming next, you know, and all those visions that we were talking about. So that's why New Year's is my favorite. And I like to drink a little bit sometimes. But yeah, so for New Year's, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but I know I want to go. I love people and I love to see people. So Christmas is always with my kids, and we just chill. But New Year's, I get to go out by myself a little bit. So that's what I'm planning to do, is maybe hit a dance floor somewhere, because I love to dance.
I mean, yeah, because you're supposed to enjoy life. That's what we all about. We want to enjoy life, live the best life you can. You know, nothing's gonna have to be why me, poor me, why this had to happen to me, but live a victorious lifestyle. Live a
Right.
life that's worth your while, being who you want, being who God made you to be. And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Just having a good
Absolutely.
time, enjoying yourself, and not worry about what people say or think. And that's nothing we have to be away from too. We worry about what people say or think about all the time. You know, social media has messed a lot of people up. They worry about how many likes they get. They worry about how many subscribers they get. They worry about
Right.
this. They worry about that. Instead of just being yourself, because you be yourself, you're gonna draw the right people in, regardless.
Yes.
And most importantly, doing stuff that you're loving to do and protect what you do. So enjoy your life and don't worry about what people say, because people talk about what you're doing good or bad.
Yes. Always got something to say. Somebody does. Well, and the secret is to really not even compare or look, right? So like, I just am like, I get excited about everything because joy has been such a gift to me. And they say, you know, the Bible says, joy is the strength of the Lord, you know? And so, I mean, just thinking about how excited I get for other people. I'm sitting here clapping for people I don't even know, or I just know them
Right.
on Facebook. And I'm just clapping for everybody just because even if what we do is similar, it's not the same. It won't ever
Right.
be the same. So
Right.
I'm like, I'm cool with everybody having their lane because I'm so happy in mine right now. And I actually have always been really happy in my lane. I've just been happy in my skin and not compared myself because I realized I'm never going to be the skinniest, the smartest, the cutest, the whatever, right? I'm never going to be all of anything to anyone. But to certain people, I'm a lot of those things, and they need those things from me, that special combination of whatever God put in me. And so it's really about the combination of things. It's about the energy that you get, and it's about just coming together with people that have that same heart and align with you. And even if it's for a season, enjoy it, you know?
Right. And then like you mentioned, you said something about that alignment. And you mentioned something about where I'm at, this is what I look at it now. It's all about a person's character. It's not about how a person looks. And that's what a lot of people come fall short at. They get caught up on looks. Even let's go biblical for a minute. The Bible says, man look on the outer appearance, but God looks at the heart.
Yeah.
We get so caught up on how a person look. And a lot of that stuff comes from insecurities too. And I'm gonna say that because
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to her because she doesn't look this kind of way. Yeah, she has the qualities that I'm looking for. It's just that she don't look the way she's supposed to look. Okay, now that's a person insecurities because they worry about what this person gonna say, what that person gonna say, instead of saying, this is who I want to be with. And knowing that's what I'm gonna say you already happy, but that's who you want to be with. You have to learn how to escape what other people think because it doesn't matter what people think. But
No.
going back, it's all about character. I look at people's character. I don't care.
Yes.
You can have the Beyonce looks or whatever you want to call it. It's all about your character.
Yep.
It's all about
Right.
character. If you want to know a person's character, even Martin Luther King says it should be not by the content of a man's skin, it should be by the character of an individual. Once we learn how to master that, Sabrina, and apply that knowledge to our life, we'll be all right. We'll be way ahead of the game.
Well, I think that would just bring us that joy. We would just be happier in ourselves. We wouldn't have to be looking out externally all the time for happiness, right?
Right.
Because like, if you're comfortable in your skin and if you're happy and you know that God's got you, you don't have to look elsewhere. I'm happy in my circumstances now. Now am I content and gonna sit here? Nah, because I'm not called to do that. But yes, I'm gonna be happy with what I got. It's been a really big challenge over probably the past 10 years sometimes to be present, especially in hurtful moments, to be present and be able to sit there and walk through that. But when you sit in the presence of God and you sit in whatever circumstance you have, whatever mess is there, and you own it, you're able to conquer it and you're able to transform it and you're able to overcome it. you know? So whether it's a mess or whether it's a blessing, if you sit in it, you're going to be able to experience the fullness of the benefit of it.
Right. And like you said like everything within us. You know what I'm saying? Once again, how media programmers that think a certain way. You gotta look like this in order to be accepted. You gotta look like that to be accepted. If you, like I said, if you want to lose weight, you do it for you. You want nice clothes, you do it for you. You want a nice ride, you do it for you. You want to educate yourself, you do it for you. Never do anything for people, because you do stuff for people, you're gonna lose out. When you try to do something to gain someone's attention, you're already lost. Because you're doing that to gain their attention, then they want for you in the first place.
Exactly.
So that's what I believe in. Do you, work on you, perfect you, stay in your lane, whatever they say, but be a better version of yourself. I'm gonna say a better version of yourself. Be who you, because I heard somebody say this before. People always when they reinvent themselves. How can you reinvent something that you never know? How can you reinvent something that you never did in the first place? Because when I say never did in the first place, because if you never know yourself, how can you reinvent yourself if you never got a chance to know yourself?
Right. Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff on the inside of us, Sabrina, I do believe, that we have not really tapped into yet.
Right. No, that's 100% true. So I'll tell you this. So part of my transformation, right, in my life was I started having kids very young.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was married for about 10 years, and I didn't know who I was, because at 16, during those formative years where you start making mistakes and learning lessons and all of that kind of stuff, learning what your character is, I was just at home, at work, or, just being a mom. And I didn't go out. I didn't do much at all. And I did that for about 10 years. So then at 26, I didn't really know who I was. And so how could I love somebody I didn't even know? I didn't know how I would react to the situation. I didn't know anything about me. And that was sad to me. So I launched an adventure, and it was rough. My family can attest to that. It was very rough. And there's still some guilt there for how I handled that, but God's working that out. But I was able to launch this adventure of finding out who I was. And that's why I'm more confident today. I don't have to be the cutest to everybody or this or that or whatever. I'm me, and I'm happy, and I'm loving me.
That's it.
Every day I wake up. And when I have those precious moments with my kids where she says, "Mommy, transformation, that describes you perfectly." I'm like, doesn't mean that the transformation was always good, because sometimes I backslid and I transformed into something else. But transformation, and why the logo has a moon in it, is because I feel like transformation comes in phases. Like I was talking about before, sometimes you make it to that mountaintop, but all of a sudden you find yourself back at the bottom of that same mountain, facing it again. But you're not the same person at the bottom that you were the first time around. And so really, to me, that's what transformation means. Just finding yourself and putting your all into it, and knowing that it's going to be a process, and trusting that process.
And that's it. And you said something, trusting the process. You have to trust the process and realize that this is as they say, some say, it's a marathon. Think about it. We're getting better every day. We're constantly evolving every day.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process. Have fun with learning you, having fun with embracing who you truly are. You know what I'm saying? Embrace you, learn you, love you, inspire you, cherish you. Before you came on the show, Sabrina, me and Daquan was going over this article about how these people lost their lives on these social media dating apps. Crazy stories, people that good intentions on these dating apps, but then they turn into tragedy, turn into chaos.
How did they pass away? Sorry. So like they met up with a stranger and they like killed him?
Yeah, they met up with a stranger and killed him. So that's what we was talking about before you came on the show tonight. Yeah, you have to be careful on these dating out. You know, if you do go out with somebody, I believe this. If you do meet somebody, they don't have to be in a dating out. If you meet somebody, y'all meet up in a public place. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, this is what I would implement too. Don't even pick them up at their house. Y'all meet in your own vehicles. I'm gonna
Right.
take and say we're gonna meet here, meet at such and such time. We'll meet in our own vehicles. We'll go our separate ways. After it's over with, we go our separate ways. You have to be careful out here. Love your life, man. Cherish your life. And what we were talking about earlier, we let our guard down so bad. Before you got on, me and the Quan was saying this with the Quan. You know, the Bible said, "Be wise as a serpent, but be friendly as a dove." And I'll talk about the rattlesnake. You know, a rattlesnake. Anytime you get close to a rattlesnake, he's gonna rattle that rattle, let you know, step back.
Right.
And if you don't step back and you come into his territory, he's going to strike. Why he going to do that strike for? He has to protect himself from hurt.
That's a good example. Yeah.
So we have to be the same way. We have to protect ourselves at all costs. So be mindful who you come in contact with. Spirit discernment is important. Discern things.
Absolutely.
But these people invite these people to their house. They know
No,
anything
wow.
about them. And people do that today.
Maybe they don't have kids. Like, well, I don't know.
They don't care. They don't. And these are adults. You think with children, these are adults doing this. Inviting these strangers to their house and end up getting killed.
Yeah. That's
Don't
crazy
know.
to be.
That's just living reckless. Just don't care. Be careful out here, ladies and gentlemen, especially around this
Well,
holiday season.
I still like, so I get in all this excitement and joy that I have. I will say, I sometimes get overexcited. So then I will start forgetting to be safe or to make better decisions than I do. You know what I mean? And now at this point in my life, I'm a lot better. But you know, I still have my moments. Like I just am that person where I want to go everywhere. I want to see everything. I want to try everything once. I want to meet everybody. I want to know their story, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I have a zest for life and I'm grateful for it. But with that comes, hey, sometimes that pause is important, you know, pause. That's not the best choice.
But that's where the sermon come into play at.
Yes.
That's where the sermon come in, because I'm talking to individual like this. If I don't have any peace about you, I stay away from you. If I have peace about you, then I can roll with you. If I don't have it, I don't go nowhere. I'm just like,
well,
nah,
right. And that's true. I will say this, PSA, discernment and tequila probably aren't best friends. Just letting everybody know.
But if you do drink, make sure you with somebody that you know.
Yes, that you trust.
That you trust. Don't go out, and you gotta be careful with that. When I say because wacky people, they put stuff in your drink too. That's why we talking about that too. If you drink and make sure you pour your own drink, or if they do pour a drink, make sure they open it in front of you, the bottle, and then they pour it, and that's different.
Right.
But I know they also say if you do go to a place and you drink, if you leave your drink, order you another drink because you don't know what nobody did to that drink while you gone. So,
right.
Yeah, there's some people out here, crazy people that be stalking folks like, "Ooh, I gotta get her, or I gotta get him."
And see, I never understood because there's a lot of clubs and bars and things like that where, and I get the rule where you can't take your drink on the dance floor, but then I'm like, so I'm supposed to leave it where? Like, you know what I mean?
What they do is they order.
I'm forced to chug it. I'm just kidding.
But what they do is they just order another drink. If you leave it on the table, just order another drink because unless you with
expensive right now.
unless you with friends, people that you know,
right?
And they at the table, and I think that's a different story. But if I'm just leaving it by myself, because these people around here. Now, I'm not speaking fear in people. I'm gonna say, "Oh, you being in fear?" No, it just protect yourself.
Right. You just have to be cautious.
Yeah, be cautious. Have a good time.
You don't have to move in fear. You don't have to like worry about every little thing. Just like you don't have to worry if you're skinny enough or whatever, pretty or whatever you want to do. You don't have to worry. I think worry is one of the worst enemies that we have, that overcritical mindset that we have, right. You know, that reel that plays in our head that says, hey, you tried that before, you didn't do it right. You're not good enough. You know, you're not this enough. I actually was just thinking about this. A friend and I had a conversation, and it was one of the most profound because she said, I've always wanted to run like from beginning to end. And it might sound small to a lot of people and nominal, but I've always wanted to be able to run a 5K, but like no stopping, right? And it's only 3 miles, 3.5 miles, whatever. But I've always wanted to be able to do that. And she said, but all I hear you say when you're talking about that goal is how you're not a runner. She said, but you are. Just start telling yourself you are a runner. Like you were built to run. Your body was built to be able to make that movement. You can run. You've run before, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, so you are a runner. You're just telling yourself you're not. So you have that limiting belief.
Right. That's true.
So it's very important that we check that reel in our head. If you think that you're, if you think that you're not smart enough, or you think that you don't have enough time, or you don't think, whatever the negative is, turn it into a positive.
Right. Because like you said about the whole running thing, like you said, you are a runner. I mean, you ran from things. You ran from a dog. When a dog chased you, you ran. You didn't walk.
Right.
You ran, right? So that made sense. Or kids playing, y'all play hide and seek growing up as kids, y'all ran.
Yep.
So it makes a lot of, it makes a lot of sense. Like you said, we told ourselves certain things. We taught ourselves a lot of stuff too. That's why the mind can play tricks on us. That's why the mind will tell you one thing. If you say, I'm gonna go for this run, your mind gonna tell you, I can't do this, I'm too tired, I ain't gonna be able to make it. And then we fall into, no, I'm not gonna be able to make it. A lot of times we have to beat ourselves. That's what it is. We have to beat ourselves, overcome ourselves. If we don't, we just gonna be defeated. So that was up right there. I like that.
Right.
I was running. So I know we pressed for time and everything else. I know you had a very productive day, of course. And I thank you for taking time with your productive schedule. Do you have any final remarks you want to leave here with the audience that's listening to tonight's podcast?
Yeah, so still looking for a Black-owned business caterer to connect with. If anybody is looking for volunteer opportunities, we're always looking for help at Mission Arlington. And then if anybody would like to collaborate or work on any creative projects, I have a couple things in the works for this coming year that I'm super excited about. Open to any talent and anything, open to all ideas. So just come at me. Transformation Culture is ready.
And awesome. And that's what's up right there. Like, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy y'all day. Enjoy the holidays that's coming up this weekend. We know that Christmas is coming for those who do celebrate, who don't celebrate, of course. And most importantly, man, just live your life. Live your life to the best. Become the best you that you know that you can. It's just like I heard this analogy. Remember the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? Remember, everybody had one thing in common. And they thought they were gonna see tomorrow, and they didn't. So we gotta live life every day like it's our last. And always encourage yourself. Tell yourself that you tell yourself I love you. You tell yourself I got your back. You tell yourself we're gonna make it. You tell yourself we're gonna succeed. You tell yourself we're gonna overcome. You tell yourself we're gonna conquer. You tell yourself that we are successful. You tell yourself we're gonna master everything that we set our mind to, and then we're gonna set our hand to, because everything we touch is gonna prosper. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that again. Everything you touch shall prosper, but you have to believe that for yourself. We got a lot of great information before us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're not applying that great information. It's just in vain. So y'all enjoy y'all night. I want y'all to be encouraged, stay focused, work on you, be you.
Yeah, and love you.
Love you. Celebrate
and always
you.
Dance.
Always dance. Even David danced. The Bible said David danced. So hey, y'all, man, just enjoy you. Celebrate you. That's what you need to do. This is no time to be sad. There's no time to be in panic mode. There's no time to be a victim. Man, this is the best time to live, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, and I know Sabrina don't know about you as well, but live life, man. Live. Let drama go. Let mess go. That's nothing. Let that drama go. All that mess and he say, she say, and all that drama, man. Let that stuff go. Because tomorrow's not promised. Matter of fact, 5 minutes not even promised to us. Let alone tomorrow is not promised. The way stuff going nowadays. Share, matter of fact, love. If you have any type of unforgiveness for somebody, man, learn how to forgive them and let that mess go. Man, life is too short. Man, life is too short. So that's all I have to say tonight, man. I want y'all to be blessed. Have a great night. We'll see y'all next Tuesday here on Walking His Ways, Impact Voice Podcast. Be blessed, everybody.
Thanks.